will be delivered in discrete curriculum time, often rolled in with P.S.E.E, as it is here at Sheffield's Abbeydale Grange, a school with a diverse inner city catchment. Year 7s have 2 hours a week of social, personal and community education.
I'm a kind of policeman. If I find that you are cheating, first of all, I will kind of give you a warning. And if you carry on cheating or stealing, I'll get the secret police to come and shoot you. And you will sit on a black chair in the cemetery. And you will be dead for the rest of the game.
Tony Tigwell is setting up a simulation game called Trading Trainers to get the class thinking about international trade.
We complain sometimes about the police in this country not being fair, but in other countries, sometimes they're even worse.
Pupils have to imagine they're working in Peru in family workshops, making trainers for the international market. From the limited materials they've been given, they have to manufacture paper shoes to sell to the market traders.
Senoritas, you don't accept 2 left feet and you don't accept 2 right feet. If you want to make money in order to feed and clothe your family and send your children to school and pay their medical bills, you've got to sell pairs of shoes. Now these guys, they'll lend you money. We call those people loan sharks, so just be careful of these.
The loan sharks can lend money to pay off the cost of living collectors who come round every 5 minutes to collect the rent.
Be careful. Trading Trainers begins now.
The cost of living collectors are stepping up to demand their first payment.
Listen up, Cameron. There's a message from the market. There's too many Sykes being produced. Sykes are the rectangle, so they're not buying Sykes anymore.
Drawing on a community with high levels of social exclusion and a great deal of difficult behaviour in school, staff have made a priority of developing children's personal and social skills and getting them involved in their local community.
P.S.E. had been crowded off the curriculum by the demands of national curriculum subjects. So we argued with the head that we should have it not just in itsy-bitsy tutor time, we should have it as a timetable subject. And being the kind of head she is and a risk taker and seeing the team she got, she said, right, you can have 2 hours. Now in 2 hours you can do a simulation game, you can take kids out of school, you can do work in the community.
Well, hold it, I'm not giving the announcement, you're not supposed to be here again.
The bottom line is that we're building up kids' self-esteem and confidence, because without that, I don't think any learning happens.
To keep a global dimension to his teaching.
What I want them to get out of it is empathy. I want them to understand that they live in a wider world and that when they go down to Sheffield High Street, they buy a pair of Nike trainers. That where are they made? Who's making them? What's it mean to those people? Is it a fair price? There's all sorts of questions, kind of moral and political questions around that. That's what I want them to understand. How many weeks have they not paid you? 2 weeks. This is serious stuff.
200.
Right, you've got to choose the youngest person in your family to die or the oldest. Right, come with me. You're in the cemetery. You're dead. I'm sorry. That's it.
Quite apart from knowledge and understanding of global issues, the game develops good participation skills.
Right. Okay, Subra. Just watch the game. You don't have to really be dead, but you've got to stay there for the rest of the game. That's it, the end of the game. Sit down, please. great. All give yourselves a big clap. It was really good. Okay. And you did really well. Now we're going to have report backs from various people. We're going to listen to those people. And we're going to learn from what you experienced in this game.
I found out that it's hard to live with a little bit of money and just actually.
We didn't do that badly because we got 160 at the end of it, and we had like 2 pairs of paper shoes to sell. And because we didn't sell the shoes in the first week, we waited to sell them, so we got more money for them.
I learned that in a poor country such as Peru, it's hard to make enough money to buy clothes and feed your family, and that often people struggle and sometimes even die for a bit of money. I had to try to sell myself, and then I had to go to Miss Campbell to work for them.
Isaac sold himself to work for the rent collectors to clear his family's debts. This led to a discussion about bonded labour and slavery. Tony did trigger thinking about fair trade, but a teacher can only guide discussion. It isn't possible to predict exactly which topics will come up.
Did you discuss this with your family?
Rachel has just brought up the idea that things are so tough in Peru, her family should try to emigrate.
Moving, getting out of Peru, going across the border into another country. What did you think about that idea? Would you have agreed and gone with Rachel?
I would have be a problem like you need money to get over the border, maybe to get on transport maybe. And we didn't have any money at all.
Because you're the expert on moving borders.
Yeah.
Asking refugee children to talk about their own life experience can be disturbing for them.
I think you pick up on that by their body language or by their hesitancy. But he was so confident this morning that I knew I could draw on his experience. Where were you born?
Somalia.
And then what happened?
And after the 3 years I moved to Holland. I stayed there for 10 years and now I moved here.
So you've moved twice across borders, haven't you?
Yeah. But I didn't sneak over the hole.
Okay. He's brought a wealth of talent and experience here, and that's something we value. You're all saying it's really hard to live in Peru. You all worked hard. 2 people died, unfortunately, in these families. And people move out of that country to try and get into another country. What do you think about that? You could feel the seriousness in the room. And I think that's the lovely thing about a simulation game, because it is a game, it is active, it is fun, and out of that fun, you draw very serious issues about citizenship and about relationships and about politics. So I was pleased about that.